Okay, so question 5, Petra, she's organising a prom for a year group and 20 and 80, between 20 and 80 people are likely to attend. It says, hire of the room is £100, and then it talks about the food, welcome drink and decorations, and it's got the cost per person. Okay, draw a graph to illustrate the total cost of holding the prom for between 20 and 80 people. Use the graph paper below. Okay, so on here, what you need to do is have an axis sort of labelled properly. What I would have here is, down here I'd have number of people, okay? So if you label the axes, you're going to get a mark, okay? I'd always try to get cost up on the vertical axis, okay? I would always try and get cost up there. And then we need to sort of determine the scale, all right? Now, if you remember, the question said between 20 and 80 people attending. So you could start off with 20 here, okay? 20, and then you need to think, well, maybe going up in tens, it wouldn't fit in. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, it wouldn't quite fit in, wouldn't it? It's got to get to 80. So maybe go up in 20s. And what I'm tempted to actually do is to start at 0, because even though it says between 20 and 80 people are attending, it's useful to know what the costs would be from 0 people. So 0 there, 20 here, 40, 60, 80. There you go. So it goes up to 80. That's what they want the graph for, between 20 and 80. So that's inclusive there. Now, in terms of the cost, we need to know what that goes up to. We know, of course, it starts at £100. That's standard. You've got to pay £100 for the room. But then there's these costs here: £15 per person, £3 per for the drink, and £2 for decorations. Now, if we sort of ignore that £100 for the minute, if we just look at the cost per person, okay, for all of this stuff here, these 3 bullet points: food, welcome drink, decorations, that comes to £20. So each person would cost £20. Okay, that's what they have to pay for each person. So we need to sort of see what this scale should go up to. Okay, what the scale needs to go up to. Well, the most people attending, 80, yeah? 80 people is the most attending. The cost per person will be £20. So if you've got 80 people, you need to have 80 lots of 20. And 80 times 20, well, 8 times 2 is 16. And add the 2 zeros, so that's 1600. Okay, so cost per person will be £20, and then for 80 people, it will be £1,600. The total cost then, of course, would be £1,600. But of course, you've got to add on the hire of the room, so that would be £1,700. Okay, so this would be then for 80 people. Okay, now if we go for the minimum, because it says between 20 and 80, go for the minimum, 20 people attending. Well, 20 times 20, okay, because £20 per person, 20 of them, 20 times 20 is 400. So the total cost there would be 400 plus the 100 higher room, which is 500. So our costing needs to go between 500 and 1700. At most it's 1700, at least it's 500. So we need to have that sort of scale here. So I'm thinking just go up in 500s. 500 here, 1000 here, 1500 there, and 2000 here. It would all fit in, wouldn't it? The cost in terms of pounds. Let's put pounds there as well. It's important to put that there to show that it is in terms of pounds. So when 20 people attend, the total cost is £500. So we go across to 20, £500 here. So put a dot there. And we need another point for our line, okay? Because our graph will be a straight line, so we need 2 points. So when 80 people attend, it will be £1,700. So across to 80, up to 1,700. So 1,500, 1,600, 1,700 will be there. So there's my line here. Okay. So if I join these 2 points, there's my straight line there that I need. And notice where it crosses on the vertical axis here. Notice it crosses there. That crosses at 100, doesn't it? Crosses at 100. That's if no people attend. It's still going to cost £100. Because of course that takes account for the hire of the room. You still pay that regardless of how many attend. There you go, there's our graph there to illustrate that. Okay, so part B then, it says Petra decides to share all the costs equally between the people attending. Let P pound be the price paid per person, let N be the number of people attending the prom. Write a formula for P in terms of N. Well, if we have P as the price paid per person, now think about it, all of them have got to pay £20, haven't they? Because it says price per person here. Well, we know each person is something of food, welcome drink, decorations, that adds up to £20. So every person will pay £20, but then, of course, they've got to pay a share, haven't they? They've got to pay a share of the hire of the room, £100. So it's £100 regardless of how many people turn up. So we're going to share that amongst how many people go. So it'll be 100 divided by how many people, and N represents how many people. So it'll be 100 divided by N. So that's how you work out the price that each person pays. £20 for the food, drink, decorations, plus then their share of the whole price. Okay, part C then, hiring a larger room at Hotel Avanman costs £200. The cost per person for food, welcome drinks and decorations remains the same. If the total cost is £2,240, how many people attend? Well, let's first of all, if that's the total cost, let's take away the cost of the hall, the hiring of the hall. So take away 200. So that will come to £2,040, I think, yeah. So that means all of the other stuff, the food, drinks, decorations, all that nonsense will come to that price there, will total that price there. So we need to see how many people are attending. Well, the good thing is we know that each person will cost £20 then. Okay, in terms of the food, the drinks, the decorations, yeah? So we just need to see how many £20 are in here, and that will tell us how many how many people there are. So 2040 divide by 20. Now when you do that, fraction here, write as a fraction is much easier. Now you can cancel off the zeros here, okay? Because that's like simplifying it, making the top and bottom 10 times smaller. So you dividing by 10 on the bottom, you get 2. Dividing by 10 on the top, you get 204. And then 204 divided by 2 is just 102. So there's our answer there.